Good afternoon, everyone. Gabe Velazquez here with you, transparenttrading Hope everybody is doing well out there. I have a class coming up. Just let me get all the housekeeping stuff out of the way. I have a class coming up on Thursday about options, implied volatility, which we're lacking right now, obviously, with what's going on with the S&P and so forth. If you want to sign up, hit the link below for the class. It's at 4 o'clock Pacific, 7 o'clock Eastern. It should be really interested if you're interested in options, and what drives options is volatility. So obviously knowing that would be pretty important. All right, everybody. So I think, today's probably going to be a short session because there's not a whole lot to talk about that I didn't talk about last Friday, really. We have a very listless market. If you've been watching the S&P in the last 2 days since Sunday, been in a very, very tight trading range. 40, I would say, is the top end of the range. We attempted to drop this more today, and again, right back up again. Very, very choppy, very kind of non-committal, listless trading. What's going to get us out of here? Who the heck knows? But in any event, it looks like 39.50. We did bounce off of 39.80, but all in all, I think we need to break above 40.40 to get us moving to the upside, and then I think we really need to break below 3,900 to get us moving to the upside on the S&P. So that's pretty much sums it up. I mean, and again, if you just looked at your charts right here in the S&P, you can see we've actually been in a very, very narrow trading range, which really what it sets up for. And this is I've been, some of you guys may be really frustrated, but here's the thing: control what you can control, right? We know that this will not persist. We know that this is actually setting up for a big move. When that's going to happen, what direction, you could, everybody, this is part of the challenge is everybody, the bulls will give you every, factor, will tell you why the market has to go up. The bears, which, will do the same thing. And therein lies the problem. You can literally make the argument both sides, and people are confused. They don't know what to do. Investors, is there going to be another bank failure? Is the Fed going to keep raising? Inflation's still high, blah, blah, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And this is part of what is reflected in the market. This is a collective psychology of the entire market. So all in all, get very range trading. Again, if we break out above 40.40, that could probably set up for a nice breakout trade. And so on and so forth. So that's really sums it up. Now, there's still that big, I wrote about it over the weekend, this big kind of divergence between various sectors. Namely, this is kind of unwinding a little bit right now, where technology was doing great as a safe haven trade. Clearly, banks were getting hit. And, you saw, I think I mentioned on Friday, we're trying to get short AMD. So on and so forth. The NASDAQ actually had a nice level, 12,977, that I actually looked at with my members on Sunday. And that actually has moved down quite a bit. However, it is still, again, even today, 12,650, things popping right back up again. So big, broad ranges, big whippy trading. Again, if you're nimble, you could probably take some money out of the market right now in the averages. But other than that, if you stay too long, like if you shorted today in the NASDAQ, it came back almost 100 points off the low. So, that's the kind of environment we're in right now. We will get out of this at some point. We got core PCE on Friday. That's the big inflation number. Maybe that changes things. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Other than that, really, similarly, all the averages really, the Dow also in a big range. Russell, I think I mentioned the 1800 level. Now we're also kind of range trading as well. 1700 to 1800 is really the range on the Russell. Real simple. Right now it's tightening up here, where averages are getting narrower. VIX is almost back under 20. If it does go back under 20, the VIX, I would definitely be pushing the pedal a little bit more on the shorts. But until then, you're going to have a lot of more of the same stuff. Similarly, the bond market, you can see the bond market still very volatile. Today was actually very quiet, which probably is also symptomatic of what's going on. You can see the 10-year, 20-year, also the 10-year and the 5-year all coiling up as well, which is really interesting because that also setting up for a big move in the bond market. So this is the first day really where we haven't had any of these massive swings in the bond market. So we'll see again if that changes. I think if the bond market calms down, that will actually help the banking crisis settle down as well a little bit. So, but again, on the 10-year, the level to look at would be that one. Let's see, on the 10-year. Hang on a second here. Yeah, 113 and a half, basically 113.1650. That's like the last pivot, and then we've had these big, massive swings. I would be looking at that, and then 117 on the upside, but big, massive swings all over the place in the bond market. Today, again, was the first day we actually had just a very, very tight range in the bond. The whole, you look through the 30-year, the 10-year, the 5-year, and the 2-year, all very similarly. So it's just interesting. They had the hearings on the banking crisis today, but all in all, just again, very, very range bound. All these markets really. So I think I mentioned on Friday the 103 kind of supply distribution area in the dollar. We came up there. Looks like we're falling right back down to 102. There's again 102, 150. You can see that on your charts. It's a continuation pattern that caused the market to rally, and now it's back up and now back down. So maybe we're in the midst of putting in a range. This is also looking like getting into, we're trying to get short the peso. That could hit us tonight. A little bit higher area. Peso is really rallying hard for the last couple of days. So there is a nice level on that we're trying to get short. Gold also, I think I mentioned we were short gold last week. Looks like gold is also setting up a big old range here between 1945 and 2005 actually. We shorted, I think I mentioned that on Friday. We actually covered that. We also were long Newmont mining, and we also covered that on, we were long calls. We sold those on around 48.50. That's kind of where Newmont closed today. We're looking to engage that on a pullback as well. I think mining shares are also going to be attractive, especially if stocks rally, then I think gold gives back a bunch of this because it is acting kind of a safe haven. So it's kind of an interesting situation. Maybe gold is telegraphing something because it was up today, 21 bucks, even in the midst of the market kind of hanging in there. So maybe watch gold for kind of a lead in terms of suggesting maybe that people are buying gold. Maybe anticipating something bigger coming along. Silver also moving higher as the dollar fell. So the dollar falling did create some pretty strong moves in all the currencies to some extent. The one, interestingly, again, it's Canadian moved up, finally trying to break out above 73.71. Peso was the biggest mover today. Really interesting. So we'll see how that goes. Then going into the energies, oil, I think think I mentioned we're long calls on UCO, which is the leverage ETF. We're doing well with that. Not a big deal. We are long 23 calls, close around a little above 25. We have a target of 30 on that, which would put oil at about 80 a barrel. We're about halfway there, 73.61 on the close. So we'll see what happens. There is a there's going to be a daily level coming up around 76 to 78. If you look at your daily charts on oil, you can see that there as well. So that's going to be interesting. There is also a pullback area that was created from yesterday's really strong rally in oil back down to below 70. You can see that on your charts. Yesterday, we had a tremendous rally in oil. News that Iraq was cutting production or something. But anyways, that would be a good pullback area if you're interested in buying oil futures there, back below 70. Interesting, nat gas is having the April contract expire Friday, and we are back below 2. So I've been talking about the $2 level in nat gas. It's going to be interesting to see if they put in a double bottom at $2 in nat gas, or they just break that thing down and go down to 150, which is the lows back, 3 years ago. I think we were down at 150 on nat gas. So that's going to be something I'm going to be monitoring very closely for our members. I think there's some opportunity there because we are coming back down to 2. Again, for some of you technicians, if we can bounce off of 2, if you look at your chart, that would be a classic double bottom. So something for you to look at in terms of nat gas. If it breaks down, though, it's probably headed down to 150. There's really nothing. It just kind of meanders. It's just been meandering lower and lower every single day. So it's really interesting to see. So that's something worth watching if you're looking for something to do in the energy sector. Oil again looks like it's on the run. It's on its way back up to 80. So that's another market to possibly focus on. Also, we actually shorted soybeans today. So we've been talking about soybeans. We did short soybeans right on the close. We're up a little bit on that. That's going to be interesting to see if it holds. We have a fairly tight stop, and it's a really tiny position. So fairly aggressive. If you look at the chart of soybeans, back last couple of months is where it broke down from here at 1465-ish area, something like that. So it's kind of a mean reversion trade. It had a pretty nice rally off of 14 bushel. There wasn't any level per se, but these round numbers in the grains really tend to have some kind of algos coming in and buying them. Similar on wheat, that I've been talking about the $7 level. You can see there's some resistance building around $7 in wheat. Let's see if we break out above that. We had that 1657 level that I mentioned to you folks a little bit last couple of weeks. We did rally about, not a big deal. It's rallied about maybe 40 cents off that. And now it looks like it's, and it actually pulled back off 7. So 7.10 on wheat is going to be interesting. And then corn also heading back up about 680. Those are the levels I'm looking at. I think I've been mentioning that. We try to get long corn, but much lower levels than that obviously didn't come in. Didn't fall far enough for us to fill on that. So, that's pretty much it. To sum it up, really, as a trader, what I've been talking to people about is just basically getting to the point where you want to focus on just the markets that are moving, and even stocks are kind of stuck right now. We've been kind of looking at Tesla. That's been in a range now. One stock, I don't know if you guys trade stocks, but Alibaba had a blowout day today. That could be something to look at. MU, they reported earnings, and looks like there's some resistance around the $63. We'll be looking at that. So also, looking at some stocks, if nothing else, on the options front, stocks, or, we're long that, I think I mentioned Valet. That's a little $15 number. It's a Brazilian iron ore nickel, kind of in that EV space, kind of, right? That's how they make all the batteries and stuff. So check that one out. It's you call it Vale, VALE. That's the ticker. It's actually a Brazilian company. That's why it's called Vale, because it's from Brazil. It's South American. So, anyways, we are long out from 15.25. Again, fairly small position in that. Other than that, really just looking at when this market's going to break out and actually create some volatility. Volatility has been dropping after that huge bout of volatility in the first part of the year. Now we're back down to the VIX under 20. So it's going to be really interesting to see what's going to cause the volatility. I still believe we are still not out of the woods with this banking crisis. I think there's one more shoe to drop, especially if the bond market does not calm down. So that I don't think by any means we're totally done with that. So I think that's going to be the next kind of volatility spike that comes about if we get another, whether it comes from, remember Credit Suisse, Deutsche Bank, even Europe, and then there's other stuff going on too, geopolitical, as you know, Iran, what's going on in Syria. So anything, you might come in any morning and, all of a sudden, you get this volatility spike. We are kind of in that weird, kind of quiet, listless type of trading, but that usually portends, that's that quiet before the storm kind of situation, I believe. So you got to be alert, got to be vigilant, and pick your spots. But in the meantime, look at currencies, look at as I mentioned, look at the markets that are moving, and don't spend a lot of energy on stuff that just doesn't have high quality opportunities. Okay. All right, everybody. So one last thing, and then we're going to get out of here. Again, if you want to sign up for the class this Thursday, go ahead and hit the link below. If you want to sign up for the newsletter, if you want to spend 5 days free with me in the morning, I'll go over all the charts like I used to. Actually, I've had a few folks come in, take a lot of the levels. They've been doing good with those. So if you want to spend that time and kind of check out some of the, I put out, not necessarily I put out the levels per se as trades, but a lot of folks are just kind of taking those levels that I put out, like that NASDAQ level on Sunday. I didn't actually officially put it out as a trade, but that actually worked out really well. And then, there's some other levels that I've been focusing on in the morning. So if you want to join me for that, go ahead and hit the link below. It's free. It's kind of a trial thing, 5 days, just the morning session. Don't worry, I'm not going to twist your arm or whatever on anything else. So in any event, that's going to do it for me. Take care, everybody. Have a great rest. Hopefully things pick up on the, on the stock side, on the stock future side coming up here. But again, there's grains, soybeans are moving, peso's moving, gold is moving. Focus on those markets. Okay. All right, everybody. Have a great rest of your week. I'll see you on Friday. Take care. Talk to you soon. If you need anything, support at transparenttrading solutions.com. Hi, Charles. Okay. All right. Take care, everybody. Have a great rest of your week.